What's up guys, it's Michael here. In this video, we're gonna discuss why hiring a really good CPA or just even having sessions with them is a really great idea for you to save money. This can apply to becoming an individual, such as if you're an employee or if you're a business owner, which will be even more important having a good CPA. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so YouTube will notify you when I upload a video. So let's get into it. Let's look at what are CPAs. So CPA stands for Certified Public Accountant. What is their job? Their job is to understand the tax code. And a lot of people say, I can find my own tax, use TurboTax or use all those applications, but there's a reason why there's a degree called accountant, specifically breaking down from, accountant and certified public accountant. So you look at the two, one is easier to get, and the one with the CPA, certified public accountant, is way more difficult to get. And why is that? Is because how our system works. So in America, our tax code changes almost every single presidency. And there's only a few exceptions to that, where the president doesn't change for the next election because he can get the 2 terms. But each time there's a new presidency, there's always a new tax code invoked. For example, you look at during the transition from Obama to Trump, they have like 2 different ideals. One of them is Democrat, one of them is Republican. So you know how it works, right? So the one party wants to tax more, the other party wants to basically have less tax. But the way they write the tax law always changes to the point where systems can't even keep up with it. Meaning automation will not work because it's so complicated. So that's why when you go for CPAs, they always have to be on top of their game because their job is to help you as a consumer to save money because there are so many loopholes. Like I mentioned in my previous videos, why do the rich become richer and the poor become poorer? Is because they utilize these laws. Looking, for example, recently Biden announced how he's trying to tax the rich by covering up the loopholes. You know that's not true. Let's be real here. It's not going to be true because first of all, how is he up there and everyone else is down here? It's simple. Just because he patched those loopholes, the ones that don't work for him, doesn't mean he won't make another one that works for him specifically or his friends and family or whatever political party. It's always gonna be a loophole. I guarantee you that. Whether it works for everyone, that really depends. Because currently right now, America has one of the best tax rates around the whole entire world for first world countries. And CPA's jobs is to basically utilize that tax code and submit it to the IRS. One thing a good CPA can do is when you submit your taxes and you have a CPA do your taxes, you want to ask them, do they argue with the IRS? Because I did some tests and looked some studies and the percentages that CPAs ever fight back with the IRS, whether it's right or it's wrong, doesn't matter. If something's questionable, the CPA can fight back with the IRS. And I was looking at some of the tests for a CPA, and 97% do not fight back with the IRS. That means the IRS comes in, they say, hey, the IRS thinks that in reality, the client or you as a business owner, individual, let's say, owes $20,000. But some reason the IRS comes back and say, hey, you are late. But in reality, you are not late. It's just because the mailing service had problems or like the pandemic. There's a lot of delays in deliveries and they decide to fine you 4 times that amount, 80 grand. I actually seen one of those cases before. It was pretty insane. And specifically, I'm not gonna bash on it, but it was actually the state of Oregon IRS did that. One of the clients I've seen before. It's not my clients. It's one I've seen before. It was pretty insane. And they fought back and said they tried to pin all the fault to the CPA and their client. So it's very important for you to have a good CPA because a good CPA, you will have to fight that. You will have to find a lawyer. It's a pain in the butt, but that's their job. Find a lawyer or have the client find a lawyer. You gotta fight that back because when you fight that back, you let them know that you can't let them always step on you like that. At the same time, play by the rules. Don't be breaking rules because if you break the rules for the tax code, like, underreporting, if you're over-reporting, that's your fault at that point. That's the job of the CPA. If you're over-reporting, well, hell, what can you do? They most likely will not give it back to you. But if you're under-reporting, you have like no chance of winning if they try to get you on that. But if it's their fault, you want to basically pin it on their problems, the IRS. So a good CPA will help you save money. They utilize the tax code. So for example, you are an employee, right? So if you're an employee, how much type of tax break can you get as an individual? In reality, it's not a lot. It's very little. As working as an employee, not as a business owner. But if you're a business owner and you have some type of share of a company with other type of business owners, that is where a CPA is the most important, because you can utilize almost literally everything. Like I mentioned, cars, wherever place you rent the place, housing, electricity, water, food. You can utilize that bill and cut off taxes and through a span of margin of time. And why is the job of CPA to do that? Because as individual business owner, majority of them, they don't know because they never studied the tax code. That's why you hire a CPA. And I hate to say it, a lot of people like cheaping out and getting a good CPA. A lot of people say, oh, it's so expensive. Oh God, can't you pay lower? You know how difficult it is, especially when you see business owners and they look for CPAs. But the problem is you gotta provide proof that you purchased that product. For example, if you're a business owner, you like pay everything in cash, you basically just gave yourself the middle finger to yourself and the CPA, because when they submit the tax return, how they're gonna prove it. If you're a business owner, you gotta keep all those receipts. Like, please, I've seen so many of those cases, it's like, oh, I got a receipt. And next thing you know, it's either digital or like they have a digital, but it looks really shady. Like the image is really crap and stuff. The best way to do it is have a physical copy of the receipt if you can't get a digital. But if it's on like a really like kind of a sketchy app. For example, you look at WeChat. A lot of clients from overseas, especially Asian countries, they use WeChat. But if you have receipts like that, they don't really accept that over here, because over there that's a different type of platform where they accept. So you gotta make sure the stuff you purchase is legitimate and they take it. So you gotta check your CPA. Ask them what happens like if I own a business, buy and sell stuff online, or maybe I'll buy supplies from here, they'll ship it all the way to America. Do they take this type of receipt? If they do, yes. If they don't, find a way. Maybe have a physical copy of it. So that's the whole point. Receipts, there's a reason why receipts are a thing. A lot of people think that's useless, but it's a basic record for you to pay your taxes. And yes, I know taxes are not fair, but if you're complaining about taxes in America, why you have to hire a CPA, especially if you hire a crappy one, you're in a world of hurt, because all that money you spend on them, it's a complete waste. If you spend for a good one, they'll help you solve all your problems and what you need. And also, they can also provide you financial advice, meaning if you're spending money, how you're not supposed to spend it, or your business, because you think about it, a CPA has many different clients. They see a lot of different scenarios. So meaning you can have one guy who's like teaching online, makes like $500,000 a year, versus a guy who's teaching school, who's making like $50,000 a year, like the ones in California. And they can tell you what this person, what they have seen and what you can do to improve to get to that next level. It basically generates ideas for you to think outside the box. That's why it's very important to see a perspective from what they see, because their job is to file taxes. But when they file taxes for clients, because when they do taxes for clients, it can range from many different fields, from like construction, plumbing, it's all sorts of fields. It can give you an idea that can help you take a next step towards your goal. That's the most unique part about being a CPA. Is it a stressful job? Right now, because of this video, people might think maybe being a CPA is a good thing. Keep that in mind. It's a really long working hour, and at the same time, it's very difficult because you got to deal with a lot of clients, a lot of people, and at the same time, a lot of taxes, a lot of paperwork. It's more like an office job. Whether you like it or not, it really depends on you. The best way to know is to try it out. But if you're a business owner, even your employee, like you need some like financial advice, or maybe you're starting your own business, go look for a CPA. Forget everything else, just look for a CPA. Just pay them that one-time fee and just talk with them. Whatever session they have, because usually it's a time session. So before you go in there, make sure you have all your questions you need. If you don't have the questions you need and you go in there, you're just wasting your money. So that's all I have to say for this video. So if you're thinking about starting your own business, look for a good CPA. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time on my channel. Peace.